Transformers issue number 10. Look at this cover with RC and Carly. And you might be like, I don't really care for this one so much, Jay. Well, you know what? They make some amazing variant covers of your favorite Transformers for each one of these comics, so I'm pretty sure you'd find one that you like. Now let's get into it. We are taken back millions of years ago in the Ark when the Decepticons invaded the Autobots ship and there was a big fight, and we find out what exactly happened to Beachcomber. Beachcomber was thrown out of the ship and he just kind of floated in space. Now, I really like this part of the comic because they don't need words. They just use pictures to describe exactly what's happening to Beachcomber as he floats to the moon. Then he's surprised by America and their first landing on the moon. Beachcomber is kind of happy. He hitches a ride on the spaceship back to Earth and lands, of course, in a tropical paradise where he just falls in love with nature and everything around him. He then locates the Ark, makes his way there, and sees all the Transformers pretty much dead, laying on the ground. Teletran 1 is asking, should I begin repairs on the Transformers? And Beachcomber just quietly walks out. And he's telling this story to Spike. He's like, listen, I knew if I brought them back, war would begin and Earth would be destroyed. This way, they could just sleep forever and there could finally be peace. And Spike was like, you've been here alone this entire time? And Beachcomber's like, no, look, I've got nature. I've got all these things around me. It's beautiful. Spike was like, why did you save me? He goes, because you're from this world too. And then we get to Astro Train and he is just chained up to the beach. And he's like, how dare you tie me down? And Beachcomber just being the pacifist as he's become. He's like, hey, you want some Energon? And Astro Train's like, nope. Once I get out of this, I'm going to wreck you. And he's like, yeah, that's why I'm not going to let you out. Spike begins to tell Beachcomber he was going to take me to another Decepticon, and Astro Train says, yeah, Shockwave. Beachcomber then begins to tell Spike about how cruel and evil Shockwave is. Cold, calculating, how he likes to take his time when he pulls Autobots apart. And then Astro Train begins to unveil the plan. He's like, he and Soundwave will take this planet for all it's worth. Beachcomber's like, what does that mean? He's like, they're going to bleed all the resources dry. Beachcomber then looks up to the stars and says, I promised myself I would never hurt anyone or anything again. All these years of just pondering on Earth, he's become a pacifist. He's like, I want no part of it. I want no part of war. Nothing. We are then taken back to the Decepticons' base. And Shockwave walks in and says, good news, Soundwave. The Constructicons have repaired the portal. And then he's like, what are you doing? Soundwave's like, my Ravage. I must repair him. Soundwave then grabs the damaged Ravage and is like, what are you doing with this thing? We don't have time. Let me throw it in the recycler. And you can see Soundwave like reaching out. And we almost had a battle of Soundwave versus Shockwave. Who you got? Let me know in the comment section below. Who's winning that duel? Because I know if Shockwave would have thrown Ravage in that, Soundwave would have just blasted him. I'm actually going to take Soundwave on that one. But what do you guys think? Shockwave looks up and is like, my goodness, come follow me. Drops Ravage on the ground. Poor Ravage. He's been like blowed up since Starscream. Are we missing Starscream at this point? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are we missing him? I sure am. Where's Starscream when you need him? Shockwave walks outside and he's like, look at all these creatures on this planet. He's like, they're going to serve us a purpose as our new energy. He's like, isn't it wonderful to know this beauty will aid in such a wonderful cause? The Constructicons then say, look, the feeder is prepared and ready. Shockwave, who looks like he's taking charge of everything over Soundwave, is like, very good. Let's start. They turn it on and you can see all the sea creatures, the whales, the fish are being sucked into this feeder and being grinded up. And I guess their energy is being harvested. And Shockwave is just evil. evil, man. He's loving this pain. He's loving seeing things die. Like you can see like all the blood around him. And he's like, yes, yes, just evil. We then get back to the Autobot base where they're trying to harvest energy from the water. And Wheeljack's like, we're in business, you know, and they're all set. And then coming in is Elita 1 carrying Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime. Elita 1 then sees Carly and he's like, who is this? This can't be. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's Ultra Magnus. And Ultra Magnus is like, RC, I don't want you to see me like this. And she's like, I thought you were dead. Then Prime has the painful, you know, announcement to Wheeljack. He's like, I'm sorry, my friend. Ratchet, he didn't make it. And Wheeljack's like, no, man, don't touch me, and walks off. Man, the pain that Optimus Prime has to carry as the leader, you know, to deliver these messages, to try to hold everything in order for the greater good of Cybertron and the Autobots. It is just portrayed so well in this series. Wheeljack runs off. Is like, I need a moment. And then we get back to the Decepticons base where we see Cliff, Jumper, and Jazz just chained up. And they're just standing there, and in comes Shockwave. The Autobots are trying to act tough, but they're chained up to a wall, and Shockwave already starts by saying, you know, the Decepticons wouldn't leave soldiers behind for the collection of their enemies. And Cliff Jumper's like, no, Optimus wouldn't do that. He goes, it doesn't matter. We'll have a conversation. And look, I brought some tools to help along the way. You can see all kinds of torture devices. Soundwave knows what's coming. He's like, let's go, Thundercracker. And he's like, well, what is he going to do to them? And Soundwave's like, it's best you don't dwell on such things. And you start hearing Cliff Jumper scream. Now, this gets interesting because it shows some cracks in the Decepticons, and it just kind of shows who they really are. Thundercracker's trying to have a word with Soundwave, who's the leader. And he's saying, look, Shockwave's tactics are brutal and simplistic, but he controls all of Cybertron. And as much as we dislike it, we need him, you know? And then Thundercracker's like, maybe we can go back and help my fellow Seeker. And Soundwave's like, Skywarp can't be helped. And Thundercracker's getting upset. You know, he's like, we were forced to retreat. We got to go back and get his body or something. And Soundwave stops him. He goes, out of the question. You're a soldier of the Decepticon army. Your life is mine. And look at this shot right here. He's like, do not forget it. We then go back to the Autobot base where Elita 1, a character I do not like, is trying to tell Optimus Prime, you know, what he should have done. Prime is thinking about his brothers, Jazz and Cliff Jumper, how he needs to go get them. And Elita 1's like, you know, we could have used you. I don't know why you didn't stay on Cybertron to help. And he's trying to explain to her. He's like, I had to make a choice. I had to make what I thought the best decision for the good of Cybertron. And she's like, it's not much good left. There's no Energon. Decepticons rule. Our people are starving. And you're here in your new paradise. He's like, Shockwave has seen it. They're going to destroy it now. And Prime, not getting aggravated or throwing an attitude, he just says, we must stop him. Will you join me, Elita 1? We need all the help we can get. We then go back to the Decepticon headquarters where Shockwave is like, everybody gather around. We've got something to show you. Our world is on the edge of devastation, and we must move faster. And you can see the machine doing all kinds of things. It's shooting this laser out into space, and Shockwave's trying to explain to the Decepticons. He goes, our planet withers with thirst. You see this big explosion in the sky. And all of a sudden, space opens up. This giant, I don't know what it is. And in comes Cybertron. He's like, why not bring our home to the source? Shockwave has figured out to bring the planet Cybertron next to Earth. Astro Train looks up and says, yes, the hour of our victory has come. Beachcomber looks up and is like, Cybertron and Shockwave standing like he is the leader. He's like, let the harvest begin. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Transformers number 10. And look at this. They gave us a sneak peek of Transformers number 11. This is the cover. You got Shockwave fighting Optimus Prime yet again. I can't wait to get into it, but let me know what you think. I don't really have a secret word today. I just hope you watched it all the way to the end. I'm loving this series, 10 issues in, and I've loved every single page. Can't wait to get into the next one. This is Jay. Let me know. Leave your thoughts and comments, your theories in the comment section below, and we will catch you next time.